today, I think more important than ever, but back in, gosh, the 1980s, IBM was the big customer service company. They were amazing, and that's what they touted as their value add. They used it as a competitive differentiator. They used it to explain why their price was what it was, because it was a little bit higher. And their goal was to push price down. If you looked at the top 20 reasons to buy an IBM computer, it was, push that price way down and make that closer to number 20 and not toward the top where it's a great value because of the price. No, what they found is they could deliver value in the form of, reliability, in the form of quick response, in the form of, how fast a service technician would come out and fix your computer. Now realize these weren't the little computers that we have today. These were computers that were filling offices and big rooms that were, all types of equipment. So it was very interesting to learn from them. Over the years, it's evolved. And what's happened today, and if you look at the Gartner predictions back in 2015 and 16, they said by 2019, 20, 21, customer service and experience would be the value differentiator. So those statistics and those predictions have come true. And it's amazing to me that more companies, even though they say they want to do it, haven't quite cracked the code on how to do it. And here's the big issue that's happening today. Companies are compared from the competitive standpoint to their direct competitors. But from a customer service standpoint, they're compared to the best service that's out there. Customers are smarter than before. They know what they want. They know what to expect. You can call it the Amazon effect, because Amazon's really had a major impact on how consumers and really customers of any type of business, even B2B, start to look at how they're treated by the companies they work with and do business with.
Fair enough. Yeah, it is. It has become quite the differentiator for companies now, customer experience. But do you think there are specific points or specific reasons why companies lag behind when it comes to maintaining a high standard of customer experience?
Sure. Well, I find that the companies that really need to step it up haven't quite defined what good service looks like in their business. So I call that the service mantra. What do you want your company to be known for from the standpoint of customer service? My favorite to talk about is the Ritz-Carlton. They have what they call their credo, and it's 9 words long. We're ladies and gentlemen serving ladies and gentlemen. And when you come to the Ritz, that's what they teach you. They say you are a lady or a gentleman serving a lady or a gentleman, and we're going to train you and teach you what that means. And everything they do, they have their 24 gold standards, and everything about those gold standards is about ladies and gentlemen serving ladies and gentlemen. So that's the first thing. Companies need to find their service mantra, whatever that is. There's a company down in Nashville, Tennessee, here in the U.S., and they have a very cool mantra. It's something like this. I may not get the exact words, but it's this: we love our customers so much that when we kiss them, their lips bleed. So I like that's more of a passion statement than the mantra. But if you think about it, we want to show our customers love. We want to show how much we care about them. So now from that line, they have, the service standards that they create, and they train their people, and their culture is all about delivering on that promise to their customers. So I think first and foremost, you have to have a good vision. Second, you've got to communicate it. Third, you've got to train everybody to it. And that means everybody. Customer service is not a department. It's a philosophy that gets embraced by everybody, from the CEO to the most recently hired, from the people on the front line to the people in the back who may never even see the customer's smiling face. But they have impact on that customer. If they don't do their job, something's not going to happen that's going to impact the experience that customer has down the road. So anyway, I know I'm expanding on this quite a bit more than what you asked for, but companies...
you make a fair point.
That's what they have to do in order to make this work. They have to develop their mantra, the service vision, communicate it, and train everybody to it.
Fair enough. So it is important from what I understand to kind of, imbibe that customer first attitude top down, into all of your employees in the organization. Do you maybe have some pointers for all of our audience watching this, perhaps some pointers that they can go back and implement to their strategies?
Sure, sure. I want you to think. I'm going to give you these ideas. They're very common sense, by the way, but unfortunately not always so common. So some things to consider. Number one is manage first impressions, and that sounds so common sense, but really many times we're very wrapped up and busy, and the phone rings, and how do we answer the phone? It sets the tone for what's to follow. And it's a greeting. It sounds so natural and so common sense, but even if it's in person, when you greet somebody and you shake their hand, how does that feel? Is there a confident grip? When you look at somebody, what's their body language say? Or do they dress for success, which means dressing appropriately for whatever the situation is? So you're managing the first impression, not the first time you meet somebody, but the first thing that sets the tone for what's to follow. Another one is I like to talk about knowledge, and knowledge is not just about being knowledgeable about your products. And if somebody calls in for support, yes, I can answer those questions. How about knowledge of the customer as well? The software that's available to be able to know who your customer is when they call without having to have them repeat their story. You can look at their history. You can see why they called the last time. Are they calling about the same thing? The knowledge of the customer creates what I call a confidence, if you will, for that customer to say, you know what, these people are on the ball. They not only know about, the questions that I have, but they know me. So that's a very, very important piece. And a third one I'll just mention, actually, I'll give you two more. A third one that I think is important is consistency. Here's what we're looking for. We want our customers to say the word always before describing something good about us. For example, they're always so helpful. They're always knowledgeable. They always know who I am. Even when there's a problem, I know I can always count on them. So that word always followed by something positive. That's the consistency that you want. You also want consistency in the personalities that you're dealing with. So for example, you call somebody and they give you their best effort. And the next time you talk to somebody else, that person also gives you the best effort. So that attitude, the motivation behind it, you feel you're getting a consistent personality. Not that everybody's the same. That's important to differentiate. It's not we're looking for the same personalities. We're looking for the same effort and attitude and motivation. And the third consistency area you want to look at is the channel consistency. Whether you reach out to me through message, whether I'm dealing with you with chatbot, whether I'm talking direct with you on the phone, interacting with you on a social media channel, I should get a feeling, there's different expectations that go with each of these channels, but we should be operating in a level that's a consistent meeting of those expectations. And so, and the fourth one I want to mention is don't ever forget, because my mom taught me to do this when I was 12 years old, to say thank you.
Absolutely. So when we talk about great customer experience, do you think you can talk about some of your best customer experience that you've faced?
There's so many different ways I can approach this, but let me just share this with you. A customer always wants to be treated with respect and dignity. So we've heard this old expression, the customer is always right. Okay. Mm-hmm. That's not true. I'll tell you that. And it's liberating to say the customer is not always right. But whether they're right or wrong, it doesn't matter. You always treat that customer like they're the customer, with respect and dignity, with the goal being you want them to come back next time. So what do customers, there's so much we could say here, but I'll give you a strategy behind this. So the customer's not always right, but they're always the customer. So in any situation you're in, you need to ask yourself the loyalty question. And that is, what am I doing right now that will make that customer want to come back and do business with me again? And if what you're doing is good enough to make that happen, then you've met that customer's expectation.